mic for that.
Thank you. Oh, there it goes. Okay. This time, you're most likely thinking that I'm going to show you an animal that's either flashy or fast. Instead, this time I'm going to show you many hidden worlds and creatures that weren't discovered until 1937 with the invention of the scanning electron microscope. This is a scanning electron microscope. It can see closer than almost all technology. What's going on there? Yeah. It can see closer than almost all technology we presently have. Today I'm going to talk to you about what they can see, but first a bit on how they work. A sample, dehydrated, coated in gold, sonically cleaned and chemically mounted, goes in a platform at the bottom of the vacuum chamber. An electron beam is fired through a series of filters, lenses, and sensors. A secondary detector collects the electrons reflected off the specimen and notes the location. Finally, an X-ray detector identifies the material type. But if I explained the quantum physics, we would win the Guinness World Record for largest and longest slumber party. Before I show you the images, I want to tell you that these aren't the actual colors. However, remember the layer of gold I mentioned earlier? Neither do I. Well, apparently it allows the computer to identify where different colors are, but they are added artificially. So let's get started. Raise your hand if you think this is a fly head. Raise your hand if you think this is a wasp. Raise your hand if you think this is a dragon. And raise your hand if you think this is a butterfly face. It's a wasp. What? Anyone have a guess for what this is? Raise your hand, raise your hand. Raise your hand. You, Ruby? Actually, it's eyelashes. Disturbing, right? Disgustingly. Remember, what you should see next should not make you lose your appetite for certain food. Just think about knowing what it looks like up close does not alter the flavor. Also, don't you dare use this to convince your parents you shouldn't eat your vegetables. Raise your hand if you think this is a mushroom. Strawberry? Fly eggs? Or corn? It's corn. Well, most of you guys are right. It's a strawberry. Okay. Almond. Cauliflower. Soybean. Chocolate ice cream. And I know it's not food, but clean toilet paper. No. Clean. No. Moving on. Okay. Because anyone growing up in the 21st century should know which salts are which. Sea salt is from the ocean, kosher salt is from salt mines, and table salt is also from salt mines, but it has been processed. You can see they're quite different. Phytoplankton. They are basically microscopic plants that float around the ocean. Here are some of my favorites. Calcareous phytoplankton. These holes are for transportation and breathing. Here's another species. Next are radiolarians. They build these cells around themselves out of silicate. They eat by absorbing small particles of food that get trapped inside their shell. When they die, their bodies sink to the bottom. Over time, this builds up and compresses to form something called diatomaceous earth, limestone, and flint. Distantly related are diatoms. This is one of my favorite photos. Technology. Raise your hand if you think this is sweater fabric. Raise your hand if you think this is telephone wire. Raise your hand if you think this is Velcro, iPhone screen. And raise your hand if you think this is Velcro. For those who choose sweater fabric, you're incorrect. It's Velcro. Silicon chips are what makes computers the black box, and in a nutshell, makes them work. This image shows how waterproof fabric is breathable but still keeps out droplets of water. At the microscopic level, medicine are capsules that float around the body until they reach the target area where they'll have most effect and burst open, releasing their contents. This is a robot, the first of its kind. These little guys are designed to fix injuries from the inside, like blocked blood vessels. They move around with a propeller on the back. They are delivered through a shot, but I'm not sure I'm ready to have robots inject inside me just yet. Human body. Raise your hand if you think this is hair. Raise your hand if you think this is blood capillaries, lung bronchioles, or tongue. For those who choose tongue, you're correct. This is cilia. Now, most likely you're going to ask me later what cilia is, and most likely my reply will be, it's what makes you so cilia. No. Actually, cilia are little hairs inside your ear that pick up noises. But if you listen to stuff too loud for too long, they can break and make it harder for you to hear. So take care of them. This is marrow, the inside of bone. Touch your fingers together. You feel it because your nerve cells tell your brain that you feel it. These cells give information to your brain when you see, hear, smell, taste, or touch something. White blood cells float around the bloodstream and kill germs that cause problems. Here they are attacking E. coli, one of the nastiest types of bacteria. If you get sick and get better again, you owe it to your white blood cells. Miscellaneous. Wait, what? Okay, let's get over it. Raise your hand if you think this is a knife blade, a rusted nail, a fingernail, or a tooth. It's actually a knife blade, but it's been barely used. This is a beautiful image of a seed turning into a young plant. This process is known as germination. Using an SEM, researchers were able to replicate the tooth-like scales of shark skin that allow it to glide through the water faster. Shark skin-inspired swimsuits were banned after the 2012 Olympics because they worked too well. Mites are little spider-like animals that live everywhere, even your ears.
Stop.
They come in all different shapes and sizes, not always looking like a spider, and eat different things. Fun fact, since mites don't have any way of doing their business, most of them die because they explode. I'll let you guess why. In this image, a Didinium in brown is attacking a Paramecium in blue. Both of these microorganisms are eukaryotic, meaning they have only one cell, but that does not mean they aren't complicated. I love this one. It illustrates how small technology has become, and just think for a moment how much work this image would have taken. Also, ants are cool. Ask me later. People like to see the most dramatic last, so here it is. Carbon nanotubes, over 22.5 million times the size. They're a type of molecule that, like anything else in quantum physics, has law of potential, if you get all my meanings. This is one of the only images of atoms that humans have, and one of the most magnified images of all time. Credits go to Microcosmos by Brandon Brohl. I'll be in the library for the recesses today with the book if you have any questions or want to see some more images. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you so much. Once again,
Ian Shoshanoff will be in the library to answer any of your questions. Thank you for your hard work. And that was our spotlights. These spotlights can come in many different shapes and sizes. So if you want to do a spotlight, please practice and come up to Mr. Kono. We can book you one too. All right, let's have a nice Friday. 8th graders, please walk quietly in. 7th and 6th graders, they go as well. 5th and 4th graders, they go. 3rd and 2nd graders. First graders,